Back on Inside Tennessee with two veteran senators in the state Senate, Dr. Richard Briggs and Becky Duncan Massey. It's a pleasure to have both of you again. Susan?
Yeah, one of Governor Lee's priorities was on criminal justice. He had several bills up that I'm guessing you all both supported. One was if an individual is convicted of any one of 31 sex crimes that was on a list, then they would have to serve their penalty entirety, no paroles or probations. Talk about that a little bit. And do you think that's really going to be a help to us to keep these perpetrators in jail that much longer? Becky?
Well, I guess I'll go first. Governor Lee, one of his mantras is to be right on crime, smart on crime, but to really make sure that people that are doing the most egregious crimes serve their sentences, and not necessarily the people that really are just having other issues, like say a drug issue or some mental health issues. So, like if someone rapes a child, they have to serve 100% of their sentence. They are eligible for 15% sentence reduction credit is all. But I think it's important that the people that are doing the worst crimes are serving, the full sentence. It's more of a truth in sentencing type thing, and that we work to get the folks that have been rehabilitated, that need to come out, or that don't need to go there in the first place, like our alternative drug courts and things like that, that we look for those alternatives to putting someone in jail.
Yeah. Dr. Briggs?
Yeah, I agree with Senator Massey. I think it really gets down to the truth in sentencing. And really, one of the platforms that Governor Lee ran on several years ago dealt with criminal justice reform. But he has said again and again that what he's interested in are a couple of things. One is, let's get some of our nonviolent offenders out of jail. And then secondly, when these people get out of jail, let's be certain that they have been given skills so they can be successful outside of jail, and we lower the recidivism rate. He also emphasized with this that there are people that belong in jail. And I think the sex offenders are some of those that we have to really be concerned about, and that their jail terms aren't necessarily punishment, which it is, but it's also to protect society. And I know that these sexual offenders, there's some very complex psychological reasons they're the way they are. Some of them, people have said, may have an incurable disease. So I think that by having many of those folks serving their entire sentence, it's not just punishment, but it's also protecting society from someone that may have some very serious psychological derangement.
Only about 90 seconds left. Dr. Briggs, we want to know if you're running again for your seat. Yes or no?
Well, the answer is yes, and you're about the 10th person that's asked me that. We already have a major fundraiser planned in August in Nashville. We're making planning here for next year. I can definitely tell you we're going to have the resources to meet any challenger. I am running, and don't get in my way, because we're going to run over you.
Senator Massey, what's the one issue we should watch next session from your perspective?
Well, I think we'll still continue to probably look at some of the criminal justice reform. You can't do that all in one fell swoop, as Don has so eloquently said. We haven't done quite all we need to do there. I think we'll still continue to look at the recovery of the economy and make sure we're still on track. And probably the biggest thing is to make sure we're using all this money that is being printed up in Washington and it's coming down to Tennessee, to make sure that we're using it wisely and kind of basically paying ahead for future things that we would have to pay for later on, and that we make sure our counties and our cities and our schools are using that wisely too.
Senator Massey, Dr. Briggs, we appreciate your time this morning. Again, always great to see you, and we appreciate your perspective. We're going to be back with our talk around right after this on Inside Tennessee. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th. Thanks for having us.
Happy 4th.